What is up, guys? It's your boy BB Lightning back at it again with another video. And in today's video, it's a little bit different than the normal highlight or tip videos. We're going through an operator tier list video, alright? And the last new operator was Osa. And so yeah, we're going to be ranking all these operators. But there's a little twist to it, and these operators are being ranked on console. So, like, if you're playing them on console. So, some guns are harder to control with a controller than a mouse and keyboard. And there's a big difference to that. And I'll be mentioning that as we go on. And yeah, if you guys like this video, make sure you like and subscribe. And yeah, let's get into this. All right. Yang. Good gadget, gun, solid gun. Her gadget's really good. I'm gonna put her as an A. Gadget's good, gun's good. Probably gadget's above average, gun's about average. So I'll make it A tier, really close to B, but her gadget just takes the controller out of your hands when you get flashed. Nothing you can do. Blackbeard, I'm going to go with a C tier. And I say this, Blackbeard's a frustrating ass op to go against, but I feel like his shield is complete plastic when I use him. And the MK and the SR-25 are just like not great guns in my opinion. The MK you can argue is a pretty solid gun, but I don't know. I just don't like his guns very much. But you know, I might have to put him at a B just because of that shield in front of his face. But I sometimes think that is plastic. It's literally plastic on how quickly it breaks. But I don't know. I'm really in between. What do you guys think? Make sure to comment down below. This is really hard for me. I'm gonna put him with us as a C tier. Doc D tier. Why would you bring Doc? Honestly, you got Thunderbird. If you want to run around with the MP5, bring Rook. Like, I don't see the need for Doc. Alibi, B tier. Really good gun, really solid gun. But the recoil is quite the kick he got. He got a big kick in the recoil this season. So I'm gonna put her as a B tier. Her gadget's solid. Everything's pretty solid about her, but I'll put her as B. Dokkaebi, I'm gonna give Dokkaebi probably a C. Yeah, I'll do Dokkaebi C. Her gadget's pretty good in my opinion. Good for hunting down roamers. Her guns are like average. I don't know. I think everything about her is just pretty average. Thatcher, S tier. I mean, nerf him as much as you want. He'll always still be an S tier in my opinion. He's got great weapon kit, LA, AR. You know, just great op. His gadget is one of the best in the game, even though it doesn't get rid of them anymore. Get rid of batteries or whatever anymore. But it's still helpful when basically you can't. I mean, yeah, it just disables them, which it's still very, very helpful. Capital, I'm going to put a B tier. Weapon about average, but I think his gadget is above average. Those smokes come in very helpful with him. I know a lot of ops have smokes, but his fire and his ability to shoot that smoke from a far distance, I feel a need for that a lot. Mira, I really want to put S, but I'm going to put A just because Mira is a little situational when you play Mira, because you can't just like put down a mirror randomly on a wall. You know, you kind of gotta, it's gotta be like a strat for Mira. You can't just like place it wherever you want. So I'm just going to put her as an A just because of the situational. She is. Buck will be an A as well. Very solid op. C8, above average gun. I think he has a above average gadget, which is also his gun. But yeah, he's just very helpful. Any sight. I mean, he has an amazing gun. So Buck will be an A tier. I'm not putting these in any order on the tier or on the list in the tier. Glaz F. I don't really think I need to explain that. Clash. We'll do C. Clash can be very good, very situational op. Her gadgets, like her ability is just like you got to be doing it in the correct spot. You know, like you got to have people around you to do it. You can't just like pick Clash and expect you to win the round with Clash. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually gonna put Clash as D just for that reason. Like I don't really understand why people pick Clash, especially when you're solo queuing. Like, why would you ever pick Clash? Monty C tier, just because in a lot of pushes you do a Monty is helpful, but once again, if you're like a Monty main, good luck getting kills or good luck even helping your team whatsoever. Maestro, let's do a B. Yeah, let's do B. His cameras are a little easier to get rid of. He used to be like an S tier with that LMG. Then he fell down to A, and now I think he's about a B tier, just because it's kind of easy to get rid of his gadget now. And, but he does have and he has a solid gun. But, his gadget's alright. Solid gun, B tier. Maverick, S tier. I think Maverick needs to be picked over Flores and Cali every single time. He's a much better op than those two are. And Maverick can do a lot of things, get the shit off the wall. He has grenades. He can make little kill holes. I have a whole video about tips with Maverick. So if you guys want to check that out, the link will be in the description. All right. All right, we're going to Nomad. Nomad, another S tier, back-to-back S tiers. Nomad is such a good op. She takes the controller out of your hands if you use the gadget. If the gadget is used, and I mean that's huge in any video game and it also covers your flank. I don't know how it feels so good to me when I have an air jab on the flank, so I don't have to keep checking it, or I got to trust somebody, some random with a drone or something like that, or trust one of my teammates to look at the drone the whole round, or have to ask them to do that. I just place an air jab there, problem solved. Valkyrie, right now, she's an S tier. She's an S tier. She's very good. Throw the cams outside, cams wherever she wants. MPX, headshot machine. She's always been a very good op, and you can check out my solo queue video. Best solo queue operators. Valk is one of those. But she is getting nerfed next season, so she will definitely not be S tier next season. But right now, she's an S tier. Frost is always gonna be middle of the pack for me. Her gun, easy to use. I wish it still had the 1x because she would probably be a B. But everything's very average on her. Her gadget's average. Her gun's average. Twitch, this is where the console kind of PC thing comes in. Twitch is an S tier on PC. Her gun is insane. Not a lot of recoil. But you can't just pick it up when you're using a controller. You kind of got to use her a little bit. I can't like pick up the F2 after not playing the game for like a couple weeks. The recoil is just a lot on a controller, so I'm putting her at an A tier. Her gun's still very good. Her gadget is very good, well improved from this season. Gridlock, we're gonna do a B tier. She's just a worse Nomad, but she still does the job, and her guns are solid. Excuse me. Pulse. Pulse. Where do we put Pulse? That ump is so annoying to me, but his gadget's so good. His gadget's S tier. His ump is like D tier, so I'm gonna put him B tier. I mean, I really like Pulse, but his ump has like made me dislike him more and more over time. Lion, after all those nerfs, I think he's right around the C to D tier. His gun's still very solid, but his gadget just, like, if you use a lion scan on me, dude, I don't really, like, even care. Like, I really don't. It doesn't affect me very much. His gadget's like D, but his gun's like C. Do I put him D or C? Do I give him the benefit of the doubt? I think I do. Tachanka is a D. And these are kind of like, Doc is like a worse Thunderbird, a Rook. Tachanka is a worse Smoke, which I'll show you guys where I put Smoke here in a little bit. Tachanka, use them if Smoke's banned and you really wish you had a Smoke. He does a lot worse of a job. He doesn't have enough ammo, in my opinion, but, you know, he's more useful than he was. Zofia, if you use the LMG, she's an A tier op. She still has she has a great gadget, above average gadget, and the LMG's solid. I'm going to put her as a B tier just because her weapon kit kind of brings her down, because that recoil on, what is it called, the MK? I think it's the MK. I don't know what it is. But the gun that got a big recoil nerf, oh my god, it is so bad when you use a controller. So bad. On PC it's a little more manageable, but it's so terrible on a controller trying to hold down that thing with joysticks. Oh man, it's terrible. I gotta put her as a B just for that. Kaid, S tier. Kaid is a lot better than his little rival Bandit. You know, he does a lot better job, and I mean his AUG has that zoomed in sight, which is always a plus. The AUG is also a great weapon. He has a great weapon kit. Yeah. So all right, Mute. Mute got a little bit of a nerf, but his weapon kit is so good that for me he's an A tier. His gadget is still like a B tier for me. His weapons are an S tier. So, yeah, if you play Mute on any site, he's gonna be helpful. You will make a difference. You kind of gotta know how to play him though. So that's why he's not an S. But yeah, Blitz, we'll do F, because Blitz is literally the worst stop in the game, because he so you have to be right next to the person to blind them. And then you have to ADS and hope there's not another teammate there to make sure you don't get shot. And if you're like trying to run at somebody and they're in the hallway, you're just going to get shot. So Blitz is like the most frustrating operator to play, and one of the most frustrating operators to play against. He belongs in the F tier, period. Done. Thermite, S, I would say. Thermite's an S, yeah. Thermite's an S. Probably second best hard breach, in my opinion. Solid gun, above average kit. That's an S tier op for me. And it's kind of hard because I could say A, but I'm putting him S. Yeah, I'm putting him S. Another hard breacher, Habana. I'm gonna put Habana at A tier. She's helpful wherever, and it's cool that you can like minimize the amount of pellets you use. You can kind of choose how many pellets you use on something, and she's so good for getting hatches, like attacking bank, attacking downstairs in the lockers. Bring Habana every single time. For all those hatches, just play Habana on bank, please. But she's an A tier, really solid weapon, and then her gadget's a little above average, so put her in A, but she just doesn't do what Thermite does, in my opinion. Like, getting a wall open, it's just, nah. Thermite's just the king. Alright. Rook. He's a C. Gadget is literally the definition of average. No one's like, oh, can we get a Rook? Can we please get a Rook? Like, no one does that. Nobody does that. So, yeah, I'm going to put Rook in the C tier. His gun with the zoomed in sight's pretty darn good, but I literally just pick Rook if I want to just peek every window. That's the only reason why I pick Rook. Ash is A tier, I would say. A tier probably. Decent weapon kit, above average gadget. Her gadget's better than Zofia. I'm sorry. I know she doesn't have the stuns, but I really don't like her. Her breaching is just much better than Zofia's. But her guns are iffy. So I'm gonna put her as an A just because she has no hitbox. But the R4C, you just can't use that gun on console, in my opinion, unless you like main the R4C and have gotten completely used to it, and then fine. But G36C is the way to go if you're not really an Ash main. But she's probably an A. Her gadget's good, and then she doesn't even have a hitbox, so that's what she gets. B tier for Bandit, literally because of his gun. His gadget has gone downhill, and there's no reason not to pick it. I mean, if you're good at Bandit tricking, like really good at it, and you're not confident in your Kaid placements, then I guess pick Bandit, but Bandit's just here because of his gun. I think his gadget's actually a D now. Ella, I'm putting her as a B tier just because when that shotgun is crazy, but the Scorpion's like is pretty bad on console. It's very hard to use on console. I mean, of course, if you're an Ella main, then you're probably getting pretty good at the Scorpion, but shotgun's kind of the way to go on console. So her weapon kit's like C tier, but her gadget's very good as an A tier. Alarms your team where the enemy's at, and then completely like stuns them. You can't even really see. Sledge, basically just right where Buck is. Solid weapon kit. Probably a little worse of a gun, maybe. I prefer the C8 over the L8, but he doesn't have the SMG11 anymore, which sucks. But I would rather his hammer over Buck's skeleton key to open the hell out of the floor. So Echo B tier. I mean, he was like S or A, but his drones are kind of visible now. But it is what it is. He has 2 of them. His guns are really good. B tier op for me. Castle, we're gonna put him C or B. C or B. C or B. C or B. I think I have to put him B because his gadget. Oh, man. He's got 4 now. But he has that 1.5 times scope, which puts him on the same level as Pulse, because Pulse doesn't have that. Pulse's gadget's a little better, but I'm going to give Castle the benefit of the doubt, because Castle barricades, if you put them in the right spots, they're very helpful, they're very reassuring that nobody's going to come behind you without getting past that Castle barricade. He has the 1.5, which makes the ump a little better, in my opinion. It makes a big difference to me, actually. Vigil, he was an S, but he's an A. Or is he an S? I think he's A. He's A. He's A. He's A. He's A. He's not the king of roaming. I mean, he used to be the undisputed king of roaming in this game. Okay? But now he's not. Because who, and I'm going to skip Smoke. I'm sorry, Smoke. But who wouldn't take the P10 Roni? I know the lack of bullets. I don't give a crap, though. It's a headshot machine. Mozzie's the king of roaming now, ladies and gentlemen. You can play below with him. You got a C4. Of course, his gadget doesn't do what Vigil's does, but I'm sorry. Vigil lost his role. He was up here because he's the king of roaming. Now he's down here because he's not the king. Mozzie's the king. Smoke. We're doing Smoke right at the S tier position. Shotgun. Great weapon kit. FMG9, very underrated weapon. Has the SMG11 still. That shotgun's deadly. His gadget's one of the better ones in the game, but you have to use it correctly. Fuse, B tier, after that nice buff he got. AK-12, LMG, just solid player, solid op, I meant. Thinka, D, in my opinion. I think the Thinka boost doesn't help half the time, and it can be clutch, but it can also, like, kind of throw you off, because all of a sudden your gun has no recoil. So, it's like, her gadget can hurt you sometimes, so I'm not putting that much above D. Jaeger, A, definitely. Right. I mean, who do you pick if you want to roam? I don't know. But Jaeger's gadget's still solid. Like, you can't rely on it as much as you used to if you're sitting in a corner because they can just like flash grenade you, but it's still a very solid gadget and you really need it, and a lot of people like that carbine, and it's one of the better guns in the game still. So Cavi against bad players, S. Against, average, C. C. Because her and you should I never should be see anybody playing Cavi unless your gamer tag says godly noob or you're playing against bronze players. Because at the gold rank, at the plat rank, at the diamond rank, at the champ rank, they hold the flank. They have a Nomad. They have gridlock. Cavi does nothing. Nothing. And not a lot of people solo push. Like, at those ranks. So you can't really get an interrogation off. Don't pick Cavi if you're playing at anybody above silver. Please. Thank you. Legion, A tier. Solid gun. Really solid gadget. Has a better kit than L in my opinion. That's why she's above L. Or he's above L. I always think Legion is a she for some reason. IQ, one of the best weapon hits in the game. Not the best gadget though. B tier op for IQ. Capcan, terrible freaking decision, UV. Buffing the heck out of him. He's probably an S. He's probably an S. He has one time solid optic, solid weapon kit, insane gadget. I'm so sick at dying, being on 100 HP and dying to 3 Capcan traps. It's so annoying. Or I'm at like 80 and it takes, and me running into 2 of them just like kills me. It's so stupid to me. Jackal, B tier. Solid weapon kit, average gadget. Gets rid of roamers pretty well, but it keeps getting nerfed. That's why it's not at an S or an A like it used to be. Warden, most situational gadget in the game, I would say. But that one-time scope on the MPX shreds. I like Warden a lot. If it was based off like the ops I liked and that I thought was helpful the most, it would probably be Warden, more like a B tier, but I'll put him as C tier. Not a lot of people like Warden. And, he's situational, but play him like coastline on kitchen when the service door, like, or on a place that people use smokes at. Nook, be looking out for a Nook video coming out soon. I'm going to be showing you guys on how to play Nook, because the way I play her, I get kills with her. The way other people play her, you're relying on that FMG9 way, way, way too much. She's a C tier, solid everything in my opinion. FMG9, underrated gun, like I said in the beginning. Well, my A tier, probably almost, if not better gadget than Jaeger, but worst weapon by a little bit, I would say. Amaru C, G8, SMG11, really can't go wrong with that weapon kit, but you never want to see your teammate like hauling ass up to in the window at the beginning of the round. You never want to see that. Oh, Cali. The more over. People shouldn't be picking Cali. Okay, if you got a mouse, alright, you got a mouse. You can do the little flicky flicks with the sniper. You can act like a quick scoping god, but on controller with joysticks, good luck flicking your life away with Callie with joysticks. Alright, you're not gonna. Her gadget's really good, but on console, I don't even want to see her picked very often, just because I think Maverick's so much better. But if Maverick, Thatcher, or Ban, Callie, that's fine. Goyo, Mr. Goyo. In pro play, everybody would be like, S tier, S tier. I don't really understand it. I don't even know where to put his stupid shields in the first place. But I do like the Vector. So I just don't find his gadget very useful. Alright, I'm sorry. I don't even think many other people think his gadget's very useful. Like, I don't I don't pick Goyo because of his gadget. I can tell you that. Like I don't even know how to use his gadget very well, in my opinion. I see others use it decently well, like pro players, but we're talking on console. I don't see people be using Goyo very good. It's not really a problem for me. C tier op, solid weapon though. Oryx, ooh, I've been liking Oryx a lot lately. C tier op, and he's lucky not to be a D tier because um you should not be hurt by using your gadget. But the T5 with that optic or with that sight, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm gonna have to put Oryx up here. And he's a good roamer. Like, get Vigil out of here. Oryx. Pick Oryx, boys. But anyway, C tier op because you shouldn't have to be. And also, for some reason, when I dash through a wall, I sometimes get like stuck in between, like not in between the wall, but like it doesn't like let me go completely through the wall. It's weird. I don't know. His gadget's inconsistent a little bit, but he's a fun op to play. T5 with the zoom insight, solid. Yana. Oh, we're gonna put you as a B tier. Look at my solo queue, best solo queue operators video. Yana is up there. She has those 3 clones or whatever you want to call them. Those things are like 3 extra drones. A lot of intel you can get for your team. And then she has grenades. I mean, she was an S tier in my opinion, or maybe an S or A tier, but she fell down to B because they got rid of her whatever it was, 1.5 or something on G36. Now I'm stuck with the shitty ass holographic. Ace, we're gonna definitely put Ace as an S tier. Ace is probably the best hard breacher. All right, probably the best. He has 3 of them. Of course, his holes aren't as big as Thermite, but he has 3, and he can throw them from far away. He doesn't have to walk up to the wall and be exposed. If it's a wall inside, he can just throw them from outside a window or something if he wanted to. Ace also has the AK-12. So, Malusi, Miss Malusi. We're gonna do a B tier. She's on that level as Ella. The weapon kit is decent, but and the gadget's solid. So B. Um, 0. 0. The MP7 shreds, in my opinion. I think his gadget's a little underrated, but it's still not very good. So, yeah. C tier. Rooney, probably a B tier for me. B or an A. I don't use her very well, but I've seen people use her. Yeah, A tier. She's the Roni. All Ronis get above a B. All Ronis get above a B. All right, Flores, Mr. Flores. I hate Flores. D tier. I suck at Flores, but it's not about me. It's about console players, console operators, like using this operator for the average player on console. Flores still is a D to me. D tier op. D tier operator. His gadget's just like you can't even do the job with the gadget if like they shoot it right away. His weapon kit's good. I gotta put him as C because his gadget's not that bad. His weapon kit's solid. I would still pick Callie over. I don't even know if I would pick Callie. At least Callie's gadget, will do the job. I don't know. Thunderbird S tier though. Thunderbird, you should not be picking Rook or Doc if you want to help the team. Thunderbird, if you're dropping a donut. Thunderbird. Osa. Miss Osa. B tier. PW9 is like a perfect weapon for her. Good fire rate. And then if you use her shield correctly, it's solid. It's solid. Use it like post plant situations or put it in front of you before you plant. Even though like you can't stand too close to it or it'll make you pick it up. Very annoying. Ran into that yesterday. But yeah. This is my tier list for all the operators to this day. And this tier list is based off of console. Alright. So as you saw, Ella is not an A tier because her gun's a lot harder to use with the controller. Okay. But yeah, if you guys like today's video, make sure you like the video and you subscribe. All right. Let me know if you guys disagree with me, agree with me. All right. And yeah, I will see you guys